Welcome to Thieves' Cant, a tabletop gaming podcast with your hosts, Jeremy Shane and Chris White.
Welcome in. Welcome back. It is Friday. It is Thieves' Cant, January 16th. I'm Jeremy Shane.
And I'm Chris White.
Glad to have you along. Thanks for closing out the week with us. Chris, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Yeah?
It's Friday.
Big weekend plans?
No.
Right. That's what makes it so sweet.
Yes.
No, eventually, you reach an age where no plans are the best plans.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. When you're young, you're like, man, I can't wait for somebody to call.
Right. I want to fill up all my hours with socializing and events, and I never want to be at home. And
now the ringing of the phone is like the bells of doom.
Right, just punch me in the face.
Punch my face.
Right.
Yes.
So thanks for listening again. Thanks for subscribing at thievescantcast. You can email thievescantcast@gmail.com. And Chris, today we're playing a new game.
We are.
It's named after you, in fact. It's called Chris Makes the Call.
Chris Makes the Call.
All right, so here's the setup.
Okay.
You're in the GM seat.
All right.
I'm going to give you a set of circumstances at the table, and you're going to tell me how you would rule.
Okay.
All right, so it's like GM's prerogative, GM's fiat. You have all the power.
Okay. Do I need to know what I'm playing, or we're just playing a thing?
I know 5e is it's the system you know best.
Yeah.
Right, so we can make it 5e centric.
Okay.
Your first scenario. We've got a conversation going between the party and an NPC.
Okay.
One of the PCs decides to attack the NPC mid-conversation.
Okay.
How do you start combat? Like, what if the NPC rolls a higher initiative? Or do you even call for initiative there? Do you let the PC get a strike in? This is one of those messy situations.
I think for me, before we roll initiative, if the player expresses a desire to try to get a strike in early, I'm going to need them to roll something. Maybe a stealth check, maybe a deception, something to that effect.
Sleight of hand, is that
sleight
still
of hand,
a thing?
Yeah. So we're gonna kind of have some opposed rolls here to see if they're able to not telegraph that blow beforehand.
Okay. So let's say I'm the player and I'm successful on those rolls.
Yeah. Okay, so then we're gonna probably we're gonna roll initiative. No one's gonna get to go except for you on round one.
Okay.
Assuming you were successful. So you'll have that first free round, which is definitely not a surprise round because we can't call them that in 5e. But yeah, you're gonna get a go, and then everybody else in round two, we're gonna pick it up.
Okay, that sounds fair.
That's what I'm doing. I don't know. I don't know if it's the right answer. I don't know if any of these are the right answer. That's what I'm doing.
Chris makes the call.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
All right, next scenario. We've got a wizard in the party.
It's already a problem.
So this wizard wants to use Misty Step.
Okay.
To escape a building or a room with a collapsing ceiling. But the ceiling is collapsing over an area they cannot see. Do you let them teleport? Because I believe Misty Step rules as written, you can teleport into a space you can see.
Mm-hmm. So the building is collapsing.
Or like
the whole ceiling is collapsing.
Ceiling's coming down. They want to teleport and use Misty Step to teleport out, but they can't see where they're teleporting.
Like there's no wall, there's no windows or anything like that.
Right. Or, maybe there is, but it's everything on the other side is shrouded in fog or darkness or visibility is hampered. They can't see it. Do you go against the rules as written?
I think with this one, I'm going to go rules as written, but I'm going to ask the player to explain to me how they think that they could do it. You know what I mean? So I think my default is you can't see it, so you can't teleport there. However, explain to me what's your thought here? Why should you be able to do that? And if the answer is good enough and creative enough, I might go for it.
Okay, so you're leaving the door cracked open enough where this could be a thing.
Yeah, but I do think that all in all, if you can't see, it's rules is written. It's a limitation, and the reason is it's a limitation on the spell. There are other spells that don't have that limitation, and therefore there's a greater cost to cast those spells.
Fair.
So,
yeah. But I love this character.
Yeah. We all do.
We just talked yesterday about good players accept consequences.
Right.
All right, next scenario. You've got a monk who wants to run across water.
Uh-oh.
It's like a parkour sequence,
mm-hmm.
claiming that their movement speed, like I guess they're going to use the dash action there from Step of the Wind to gain more movement, to increase their speed. They're
mm-hmm.
saying that momentum is going to carry them over the stream.
Okay. What level are they?
I don't know.
If they're 9th level, then I agree with it, because they gain the ability to move along vertical surfaces and liquids without falling using their movement. If they're not 9th level, probably not. I mean, I might give you this for, a 5-foot square, maybe, you could carry yourself across. I mean, effectively a jump, essentially. But yeah, I mean, if not, what's the point of the 9th level ability?
Because, bro, none of our campaigns ever go that high.
Well, that is something. Sometimes, campaigns get up to this point.
Sometimes I've heard tales.
I've heard rumors of tales that made it to double digits.
Right. All right, so it's a no.
Yeah, that would be a no for me. Why would the monk have it versus anyone else? I mean, until 9th level, at which point they can do that all day.
Got a couple more for you. We've got a rogue who wants to steal an enemy's weapon while they are grappling, while the enemy
mm-hmm.
is grappling another party member. So the player argues that advantage and positioning should make it automatic.
No.
Come on, the bad guy is tangled up with one of my allies. I should just be able to grab his weapon.
I don't necessarily disagree with that. However, disarming is a thing. That's particularly a maneuver for like a battle master fighter or someone like that. So again, the problem is, which I think anyone could make an attempt to disarm. But when you just give people things, even though it seems kind, you're oftentimes diminishing something that someone else is really invested in. So, if I'm a battle master who's chosen one of my maneuvers to be disarming attack, for example, it's not really fair to them. It's just if I just hand somebody this automatic disarm. So there are rules for disarming, which are similar to the disarming attack that the battle master has. They get a lot of bonuses. They could certainly make an attempt. Basically, I believe you sacrifice an attack roll to make an opposed check there. They're welcome to do that. It's always, you can try, right? I mean, that should be the approach that you use. And so you want to try to disarm them? Okay, you can try,
yeah.
Right? And maybe they have their hands full, they're grappling. Well, they have a handful because you only need one hand to grapple, I believe.
Hey-o.
So, maybe depending on the situation, you could get advantage in that opposed check or something like that. But something like that, you don't want to just hand to a player.
All right, last one for today before we wrap. We've got a paladin. And I know you're fond of paladins right now.
I am. I do love them.
They want to use their divine smite on an unconscious creature to ensure that it doesn't get back up later. Are there consequences for doing such?
Well, what's your oath? I guess would be the first question. If you are a oath of devotion, that's probably going to be a problem. If you're an oath of vengeance, go for it.
No problem.
I don't really have a problem with it. I don't think you're defying your oath in doing that.
Okay.
Maybe they're not suffering enough because they're, or oath of conquest, for example. Like, I think for some oaths, this is fine. And that's why the paladin experience can be very different, is because, depending on the oaths that you follow, it's a very different, strict set of rules that you're held to. In the same vein, I think it would be fine for an oath of devotion paladin to allow an enemy to flee. But in some circumstances, the oath of vengeance, maybe not, because vengeance needs to be served. And so you have different restrictions and things like that. So it needs to be, you need to bear that in mind.
So if this goes against the oath, I mean, you can't really stop the player from using their Divine Smite, right? So then what is the ultimate fallout if they do and it runs counter to the oath that they swore?
Well, then, I mean, we need to think about atonement. And so that's something that we'll have to work out with the player. Hey, maybe you're not going to have access to some of your abilities until you make this right. Because what you did was pretty bad.
Yeah, going back to yesterday's conversation about things that good players do, they commit to a choice. Just go. And so this would be an example of, I'm committing to this choice. I know it's probably not going to be great for my character, but I think it needs to be done.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. And then I'm going to accept the consequences that follow.
Yeah.
And that could end up in that atonement. That's an opportunity for adventure.
Mm-hmm. It's funny. It doesn't even feel like cleric is held to the standard. Paladin and warlock, like those classes have just like this tight leash that they're bound by, but it's awesome because there's so much role play involved. Sure. It shapes the character so much. And I think that's why those classes are really popular. I mean, aside from the powers they have and all of that stuff, it's because they're, I mean, if you play Baldur's Gate 3, right? It's the paladins and the warlocks getting it stuck to them all the time, right? If you're a paladin, you're at risk of falling away constantly. Like it is hard to do a playthrough as an Oath of Devotion paladin. Like that is like an achievement in itself, right? Because you're gonna mess up. You're gonna make the wrong decision, which I don't like that walking on eggshells all the time. Right. But it's just generally, are you in the framework of that devotion? Like, are you trying to adhere to it? And warlocks, oh my gosh. I mean, you have a fiend with a interest in your day-to-day life, so there are problems. So, at the same time, yeah, I would call that on that paladin if they were violating their devotion. But also, bear in mind, this player has a much higher standard they're trying to adhere to than anybody else. Nobody cares what the fighter does. The fighter can go stab some unconscious, whatever. I mean, unless maybe they're a knight of some order or honor is an issue. But for the most part, nobody cares. Nobody cares what you do. Good, evil. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter as much.
So that'll do it for another episode of Thieves Can't. Remember, you can like and follow at thievescantcast. You can email thievescantcast@gmail.com. We would love a 5-star review on your platform of choice. And finally, if you've got a gaming group, friends who are interested in gaming, if you think that they might be interested in what we have to offer, bring them on board.
Absolutely. Hey, I'm power tripping right now. I've got my own segment where I make the call. Yeah, make the call. 5-star reviews. Share it. It'd be awesome.
Hey, we will see you Monday with the latest news, the latest crowdfunding, and more. Until then, have a great weekend. Get some gaming in. It's been Thieves Can't. I'm Jeremy Shane.
And I'm Chris White.
So long.
Thank you for listening to Thieves Can't. Email thievescantcast@gmail.com.